Hey YouTube, how's it going? So last game I showed you a TvP on Zelnaga Caverns. This was a Platinum versus Platinum. That's where I'm at right now. So at the end of the video I promised you guys I'd show you the different matchups, TvT and TvZ, and I'd show you kind of the way I go about playing them. I don't do the typical Marine tank sort of builds against Zerg and against Terran, a similar thing. I don't do the Marine tank. So I'll show you a couple of my latest replays. So this here was the one that I showed you previously with the TvP, so that was September 23rd. I haven't played too many games since, so now it's September 26th, and I have a TvT that I'll show you against RaZeFalcon, and my TvZ that I'll show you against T-Nox. So we'll start off, this video I'll show you the TvT. I'll open this up. So yeah, I traditionally don't like to do the Marine tank Viking sort of play. I like to go a bio army again. It's another Terran. I like the mobility. So anyways, so I'm in the bottom left here, the red Terran, and he's in the sort of top right as the blue Terran. So I'll speed this up to ×2 because the beginning's slow. So you can see in the units tab we're equal in SCVs. I'm going to put my supply depot at my front entrance to wall off, and he chooses to put his next to his command center. A little quicker, probably better for early game income. But considering we're early level players, we probably didn't even send our Marines to the unmined mineral patches at the very beginning. We probably didn't do the best split either, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So as you can see here, I'm walling off with the barracks as well. He's putting his barracks down south. So really from his viewpoint, I don't know if I like doing this, because if you look at his view, he can't even see his front ramp, so I don't know if I like putting all my buildings down at the bottom. I know he probably does this so if I siege up here, he can't, or I can't kill any of his buildings, any of his production facilities. So I'm coming out with my scout. I'm going to run into a Marine, but I like to run right by him, stutter step from him. And he comes up to scout me, sees the barracks, does he push back in? Yeah, sees the Marine and runs away. So he's up to 3 Marines now. I'm at 3 Marines as well. We're kind of tied. I have one more working than he does, but he has a video on to just switch into our world command now, so because the income tab is probably beating me just slightly. Pretty well equal harvesters. Everything's pretty well equal. I'm running off just 1 gas. He's running off 2, so he's beating me in gas income. He's got his factory up. Bringing down a bunker. So now the early games are, the very early game's over, so I'll slow this down a little bit more to regular speed. So I'm at my 3 barracks with 3 tech labs. I actually meant to do 2 tech labs in 1 reactor, but 3 tech labs will work. I'm not gonna put on a reactor now, it's too late. The time it takes to build a reactor is insane. It feels like it takes as long as stimpack. So I'm only mining 1 SCV from this geyser, 3 from this one. It'll probably do the trick, as I'm not putting out a factory or anything like that. I just need enough to pull out my stimpack and concussive shells, shields, you know, and my marauders. You don't need too much gas. You can pretty well do it all off 1 geyser. You know, things like stimpack and stuff will be delayed, but my main concern is getting my army out into the middle when you're doing a play like this, because you want to intercept the tanks and Marines before they push out. If you wait until they siege you up right in front of your base, that ruins the mobility of your army. The reason why you go a bio army is to be mobile, is, you know, to put pressure on them. His siege mode just finished. He got his first shot off. If you take my view, you can see a couple Marines. I know there's a tank somewhere up there. So I'm trying to come in from 2 angles. Realize the bunker, the tank, it's way too much. So I start pulling these units back and rallying them towards the front of my base. So if you look at the units, he's got a couple more SCVs than I do. 1 tank, 7 Marines. So he has 7 Marines, I have 8 Marauders. So I went very Marauder heavy, given that I had 3 tech labs. And really, you want to tank the Marine damage to take out the tanks as he pushes it out. So having a lot of Marauders very early isn't horrible. The DPS really isn't there until you have stimpack. So a bunch of Marines and medevacs can wipe out your Marauders pretty easy.
SCV ready.
So anyways, I finally have 3 in gas. I'm up to 27 SCVs. He's at 30, so he's up a little bit. He's got his medevac. I don't even have factory tech out yet. I'm just pushing out Marines and Marauders right now. Well, mainly Marauders. I'm up to 11 Marauders now and only 1 Marine. So I'm glad you didn't do a Banshee play. I started getting a little nervous about the Banshee play, seeing that I was only going Marauders. So I see his expansion going down. Probably, I haven't put up a missile turret yet. I think I did scan him and I saw that the starport had no add-on. His add-on was on the factory.
Research complete.
I saw the reactor on the barracks, so I knew he was going to go Marine tank. I saw the Vikings, so everything, you know, was pretty standard. So this was my great opportunity to didn't even get any Marines. Take out the bunker. And start hitting that expansion. I couldn't believe that he didn't. I don't know if he actually canceled it. Actually, let's go back here just a second now and see if he actually managed to cancel it in time. So we'll speed this up. See the expansion.
Research
I move
complete.
out. His money's at about 500. No, he didn't salvage cancel it time. He lost out in points. I guess he kept it alive just to delay that, so he didn't have much back in. Look at the workers killed. 13 workers killed. Killed off almost all his add-ons except for this 1 reactor on his starport. I have 7 Marines, and now I'm finally ahead in the worker count. So that push was very successfall. It stopped his tank push from pushing out. I bet he wanted to set up you know, a couple of tanks here out front and get himself all good and dandy and protecting his expansion, but you know, if you're doing a bio army like this, you gotta be mobile, you gotta move around, and you gotta ensure that you stop him from slow pushing. So anyways, I've got my expansion up. I'm working on level 1 shields. I've already got level 1 weapons. Slow this down again. So we've got a little ball army here. So if we go to the everyone view, you can see he's got 2 tanks, a whole bunch of Marines, a whole bunch of Vikings. This is a scary force. If this was sieged up, it'd be a very scary force. But he starts moving back, realizing he's going to catch up to him. He tries sieging up. I focus on the tanks. Now it's just a bunch of Marines. The Vikings do a very good job of tanking the damage, so I end up focusing on the Vikings here. Then I take it. At this point, he's got 1 tank and a couple Hellions back here. But I don't know if I actually try to push up the ramp at all. No, I guess I figure, you know, he's probably good enough to at least have some units up above, and these guys are all very low in health, so I just leave them. And I continue to pump out SCVs. So if you look at production tab, building another reactors on my barracks down here. Pumping out more SCVs, medevacs, marauders. My shield's almost done. I have plenty of supply to get me a good sized army. I just move these marauders up to the top here, waiting for his expansion to come down. And I start pretty well rallying all my units to the front. So 2 starports, 3 barracks with tech labs, 2 with reactors. 1 engineering bay. I'm putting up a missile turret at both expansions to keep myself protected. What's he doing back here? He still hasn't floated down his expansion. He only has 2 siege tanks. He's not comfortable enough yet. I guess he spent the past minute probably putting his add-ons back on. He's going for level 1 upgrades. I'm already at 1-1. He does now have stimpack. He doesn't have shields. He doesn't have concussive shells. Does he have blue flame? He does have blue flame. But if you look at the units here, I'm at 51 SCVs now compared to his 24, so, and he's not even mining for this expansion yet. So his income's going to be much lower. Yeah, 1700 to 600, and my gas is up to almost 500 now because I've got these 4 geysers. I've got the armory down so I can start level 2 weapons pretty soon. Continuously pumping up these medevacs. So these medevacs are getting a lot of energy. I just happen to have this this factory with the reactor, even though I meant to swap it with the starport. So I started pumping out some double hellions for the sake of it. And so, you know, it'll counter his marines fairly well, even though they're not blue flame. Transferring some workers over. He started setting up his tanks here. Just harassing his tanks for a little bit. I have an idea of what he has. It really isn't all that much. You know, what's he at? 3 tanks, 8 marines, a medevac, a couple hellions, to my 15 marauders, 13 marines, 4 hellions, 9 medevacs, and I even have a Viking in the mix at the bottom here, which I didn't end up bringing over. So up to 54 SCVs now. I'm working on level 2. I think I started my 3rd command center. And he just leaves this nice opening spot here for me to drop my medevacs. 55 SCVs. His point double the SCVs. At this point, you know, he should have taken a risk and done something like okay, just trying to get that back. He should have known he was really hard to play. But there's nothing he can do at this point. Pulling off all his SCVs. It's not going to get enough. Boss will feel all his stuff. Worker skills will skyrocket. 10 SCVs. I move away from the siege line to kill the rest of these the last SCVs to take over the tanks. That's what she wrote, so that's how I like playing my my TvTs. Now it's unfortunate he didn't actually get out into the middle of the map and siege up, because typically your goal in going bio is to get a lot of medevacs, get a heavy marauder count, and then load them all up like this, but instead of going for a drop, you drop on top of his siege tanks wherever they are placed in the map. So long as his siege tanks are clumped together and not well spaced, you can wipe out 8-10 tanks all in one shot, and you don't even have to worry about his small marine force that he'll have surrounding his tanks, because the medevacs will tank some damage. So that's kind of my goal, you know, get your upgrades out as quick as possible, get those medevacs out, and early on get the marines and marauders into the middle of the map. I let my expansion, you know, be delayed just slightly, just to ensure that I don't get pushed with a 1 siege tank and, you know, 8 marines at my front and not be able to hold it off. So anyways, as you saw, I think I did put down a bunker early game to prevent any sort of all-in marine rush, and I did wall off. That also helps the marine rush. So yeah, that's my typical TvT game. So the next game I'm going to show you is a TvZ, and I'll show you how I like to play that one. Again, it's not the typical marine tank you'll see the pros do, just because I'm just not good enough at microing my marines around 20 or so mutalisks. So that was this game, and anyways, look forward to the next game. If you like this video, like it please. It helps out and it encourages me to keep posting these videos. And subscribe if you want to see any more, and check out my Twitter page. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Bye.